Hi, welcome to my channel. In this video, you're going to learn about laws involving positive integral exponents, zero, and negative integral exponents. When we say integral exponent, it means that the exponent is a whole number, not a fraction. Let's have a review about laws of exponent. So here we have a raised to m times a raised to n. So copy the base and add the exponents. So we have x squared times x cubed, that is equal to x. 2 plus 3 is equal to x to the fifth power. Now we have here division. So a raised to m divided by a raised to n is equal to a, copy again the base, m minus n. And then we have an example here. So therefore this is x, 6 minus 3, and that is equal to 3. So the answer is x cubed. Now here we have quantity a raised to m raised to another power n, which means we're going to multiply m times n. So just copy the base, and that is mn. So we have here means 2, copy that one, and then 2 times 3. And that is equal to 6. And then you can simplify this. 2 raised to the 6th power is simply multiplying 2 6 times. And that is equal to 64. Now here we have a product raised to a power, which means that a should be raised to n. Understood, the exponent of a is 1. So we can multiply that to n, and that is still n. B also has an exponent of 1 times n, that is still n. So a raised to n times b raised to n. So we have an example here. It means that 2 raised to the third power, or 2 cubed. X should be raised to cube also, and y should be raised to the third power. And now 2 cubed means 2 times 2 times 2, and that is 8. So 8x cubed, y cubed. Now here, we have here the quantity a divided by b raised to n. So again, a should be raised to n, and b should be raised to n. So a raised to n divided by b raised to n. So we have here an example, x squared divided by y squared. Let's have zero exponent. Any number raised to 0 is equal to 1. Of course, a should not be equal to 0. So a raised to 0 is equal to 1. So I have here 2 raised to 0 means 1. X raised to 0 means 1. Quantity a over b raised to 0 is also 1. Or 1/5 raised to 0 is also 1. Now here, this is 1 divided by 1. So that is equal to 1. 25 times 1, that is equal to 25. This is 1 plus 1, that is equal to 2. And here, we have here 5x, y, z, but they are all raised to 0, which means that is still 1. 1 times 5x is equal to 5x. So let's have negative exponents here. So I have here a raised to negative n, and that is equal to 1 over a raised to n, positive. So what happened here is, understood there is 1, and you are going to get the reciprocal of this. But once you get the reciprocal, the negative exponent becomes positive here. So let's have an example. 5 raised to negative 2, that is equal to 1 over 5 raised to 2. And that is equal to 1. 5 raised to 2, or 5 squared, is equal to 25. Let's have another example. What about this one? So numerator has an exponent of negative, same as the denominator. So first, let's apply the law of exponent here for negative. It means that we are going to get the reciprocal of the numerator first. 1 over x to the fourth power divided by 1 over x to the third power, or x cubed. Now, we are just simply dividing fractions. So in dividing fractions, we know that we just multiply the numerator by the reciprocal of the denominator. It means copy 1 over x to the fourth and multiply that to the reciprocal of the denominator. It becomes x cubed over 1, which is equal to multiply, that is x cubed over x to the 4th power. Now look at this one and the given. What have you noticed here? Seems like we just simply move this x to the numerator, x raised to negative 3, and it becomes positive. And this one, we move it to the denominator, and it becomes positive, the exponent. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. You don't need to do this anymore. You don't need to do this long process. So if you have an example here, 3 raised to negative 3 and 3 raised to negative 2, simply just flip this, 3 raised to 2 and 3 raised to 3. And that is equal to 9 over 27. 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, what about this one? Simply 2 raised to negative 2 and 3 raised to negative 2, which means you are just going to flip that again, and that is equal to 9 over 4. So now, simplify and express your answer with positive exponents. If you need more time, you can just pause the video. So here we have a raised to the 5th power times a raised to the negative power, negative 5. So now, we are multiplying the same base, so just copy the base and add the exponent. So 5 plus negative 5, that is equal to 0. So a raised to 0, which is equal to 1. Next, 2 raised to the 5th power times 2 raised to negative 10. Again, the same base, so copy the base and add the exponent. 5 plus negative 10, that is negative 5. So 2 raised to negative 5. So now this is negative, so we can put that in the denominator, and then that is 1 over 2 raised to the 5th power. Now you can simplify this. 1 over 2 to the 5th power means multiplying 2 5 times, so that is equal to 1 over 32. Next, 4 times x raised to the negative 4 times 6x raised to negative 3. So first multiply the numerical coefficient. 4 times 6, that is 24. Now you are multiplying x raised to negative 4 and x raised to negative 3. So again, copy the variable x and add the exponent, that is negative 7. Negative 4 plus negative 3 is negative 7. So what are you going to do now? Since the exponent of x is negative, put that in the denominator. So 24 over x raised to the 7th power, it becomes positive now. Okay, so let's have more examples. So we have here 4a to the 5th power times 3a raised to the negative 7. So first, multiply lang muna natin tong numerical coefficient. Since pareho ang base nila, so kopyahin na natin yan at i-add lang natin yung exponent. So that is now 12a raised to negative 2. Bakit? Kasi yung 5, kung gusto mahirapan kayo, pwede nyo siyang hiwalay na i-perform. Okay, di ba? Nag-add tayo ng integers na hindi magkapareho ang sign. Ibig sabihin, isa-subtract lang natin 7 minus 5, that is 2. At kopyahin natin ang sign ng 7 kasi siya yung mas malaking number. Copy the sign of the larger number. So now, anong gagawin natin ngayon? Kasi itong a ay negative ang exponent. Ibig sabihin, ilalagay lang siya natin sa denominator. So, nasa numerator ang 12, nasa denominator ang a squared. Okay? Now, what about here? Ibig sabihin nito, since naka-parenthesis at nandoon yung exponent, dapat ang 2 i-erase din natin sa 3. Understood kasi ang 2 mayroon siyang 1. 1 times 3. Or that is still 3. And then ito naman, ang x, negative raised to negative 5. And then multiply din siya natin sa 3. So, ibig sabihin, maging 2 raised to the 3rd power, and then x raised to negative 15. Negative 5 times 3, negative 15. Now, anong gagawin nyo ngayon? Pwede nyo munang isimplify ito. That is 2 times 2 times 2. That is equal to 8. Then, x raised to negative 15. And then, since negative ito, anong gagawin nyo? Ibababa lang natin siya, di ba? So, magiging 8 divided by x raised to 15. Okay, now what about here? Look at this one. Okay? So, ito, pwede nyo muna itong i-simplify. Positive naman ang exponent dito. 4 squared, ibig sabihin 4 times 4, that is 16. Ito naman, 2 times 2, that is 4. Okay? Pag multiply natin ito, 16 times 4, that is equal to 64. Now, gawin natin ngayon yung mga letters. Or yung mga the same variable here. So, meron tayong sa A, negative 4. Sa A, negative 4 plus 5. Okay. So, we have here negative 4 and 5. And that is equal to 1. So, yung A natin, ang exponent niya ay 1. Sa B naman, ang B natin is 2. Di ba nag-add lang tayo dahil nagmo-multiply? Na-add lang natin yung exponent. So, 2, understood, may 1 dyan. Ibig sabihin, that is equal to b raised to the third power. Sa C naman, negative 4 dito, plus negative 2, that is negative 6. Okay? So, ngayon, tingnan natin kung alin dyan ang may negative na exponent para ilalagay natin siya sa denominator. So, that is now equal to, so ano lang ilalagay natin? Yung c raised to negative 6, lalagay natin siya sa denominator at magiging positive siya. So, 64a b cubed divided by c raised to the 6th power. Magiging positive na. Okay? Okay, so this time, division naman tayo. Now, sa division, pag nagdi-divide tayo, pag pareho ang base, we just subtract the exponent. Yung exponent ng numerator minus the exponent of the denominator. So here, ang gawin muna natin, yung numerical coefficient, divide muna natin. 25 divided by 5, that is equal to 5. And then m, sa m naman, pareho ang base, so pwede natin ngayon i-subtract yung exponent nila. 3 minus negative 7, that is equal to 10. Change the sign of the subtrahend and proceed to addition. So maging plus yan, proceed ka na ngayon sa addition. Kaya 10. M raised to 10. Sa n naman, negative 6 minus 2, and that is equal to negative 8. So, n raised to negative 8. So, ngayon, ang n natin ay negative ang exponent. Therefore, ilalagay lang natin siya sa denominator. So, ang nasa taas, 5m raised to 10 divided by n raised to 8. Okay, what about this one? So, now here, napansin nyo dito, mayroon tayong dito, it's either simplify nyo muna yung nasa loob. Kung yun ang mas gusto nyong gawin, simplify muna natin yung nasa loob, or pwede rin ito i-erase dito, pero lalaki yung number. So, una, 12 divided by 4. And that is equal to 3. Okay? Now, dito naman sa x raised to 6 and x raised to 3. So, isa-subtract lang natin. 6 minus 3, that is 3. So, x raised to 3. Sa y naman, y raised to negative 8 and divided by y raised to the 5th power. So, ima-minus lang natin, di ba? So, ito ngayon ay negative 8 minus 5. And that is equal to negative 13. Kaya ang exponent ngayon ng y is negative 13 here. Now, meron pang exponent na 3. So, ibig sabihin ito, i-erase pa natin yan sa 3. Lahat yan. Okay? So, ano na ngayon magiging sagot natin dyan? Ibig sabihin ang 3 raised to 3. Okay? Now, ang x naman, meron tayong 3 dito, na exponent, ibig sabihin 3 times 3, kaya maging x raised to the 9th power. At ito naman, y is equal to negative 13 raised to 3, means negative 13 times 3, that is equal to negative 39. So ngayon, pwede nyo i-simplify ito. 3 times 3, 9 times 3, 3 times, that is 27. 27 then x to the 9th power. So, anong gagawin ngayon dito? Kasi ito ay negative. So, simply, ilalagay lang siya natin sa denominator, maging y raised to the 39th power. So, that's how you're going to simplify exponential form, applying the laws of exponent for negative, positive, and 0. So, make sure that the final answer has a positive exponent. So that's all for this video, and thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Bye!